Mo Salah has signed a new contract, and it's all about that today. So joining me to react to that news are Mike Kearney and Keogh Molyneux. We'll go straight into the manager talking about the brilliant news of Mo's new contract.
Happy, of course. He's shown at this club for so many years in a row now how much of value he has for the team, for the club. So as like I assume all our fans and his teammates, we're very happy that he extended for 2 more years, and hopefully he can show Sunday again how important he has been for the whole season to us.
Yeah, Keogh, goes without saying, it's unreal news. Like I've loved the manager obviously having his post-international break glow anyway, but he came in with a big beaming smile today as well. It was nice to see. It's the way we're all feeling in Liverpool's land right now, isn't it?
Needed to happen, didn't it?
Yeah.
We've all been thinking about this all season. We've all been talking about it all season. You know, there's been times where we think he's defo going, he's defo staying, but I think he's proven more than any other player that he's the one that we need to tie down. He's the one that is still producing the numbers, and I'm absolutely made up. I think he's the best player in Premier League history. I think he's one of the best Liverpool players of all time. And the best part is we've seen this season there's more left in him. That he scores goals, he creates goals. And obviously now we know he loves Liverpool and he wants to stay. Brilliant.
And that's the brilliant thing, isn't it, Mike? Because there's been all this sort of contract noise all season, really, and obviously we can sort of see the direction the Trent one's going. We'll come on and talk a little bit more about the Virgil one, which we believe is imminent as well. But you know, to get Salah done, because it feels like the majority of the chatter has been around Salah, really, because he's been sort of more willing to speak in the press about it and all these kinds of things. I think you're seeing now the benefit of getting, effectively, to my mind anyway, the fella who's been the best player this season getting tied down.
Yeah, look, I think him and Virgil anyway have never really not been anything but straight as a die with us as fans and the club. By the way, they're not just saying it for a laugh. These things that they say, it is a little bit of part of the dance, but I don't think that whatever he and Virgil have said has been anything but true. Really, they both wanted to stay. We've got the Salah announcements. We imagine the Virgil one soon. The fact that it's done now is just a weight off our minds, a weight off the club's minds, because that would have been major surgery if 3 of your best players are walking out the door. And by the way, in one of them 3, there's 54 goals, goals and assists, goal contributions there. That's ridiculous numbers that you've got to try and fix. Some would have said it would have been impossible. It could have been done, but thankfully we'll never have to find out now. That as Keogh said there, one of the best players we've ever seen anyway in our generation. But I bet you any money the likes of, Damien Cavani, who's seen loads of players come and go at Liverpool, we'll still have him up there banging the top 5 they've ever seen. It speaks to the level of the man, speaks to the level of the ability of the man, and the fact that he's still been putting the performances in while to all intents and purposes it could have been his last year, and it was his last game here, his last game there. We're starting to build up, wasn't it? And he was saying, look, I'm more out than in at one point, because truthfully that probably was the case. The deals and terms weren't on what he wanted, and now they are. It's done, and we've just got to absolutely embrace the fact that the best player I think I might have ever seen play at Liverpool, and that's a long list, because you look at what Suarez could do with the football, what Gerrard did and can do, and Mo Salah is on that level and putting trophies on the board at the same time as all the goals and assists, and he's an absolute stands-up man as well off the pitch. It's just good news all round. You can't. There's no bad side to this. Even if in that second year of the extension he starts dipping off and not providing as many goals and assists as he's done this season, he's still going to be above 85% of the Premier League's goals and assists, you'd say, because he's that good of a player.
Yeah, and you heard Slot praising the hierarchy in the press conference, like and being at pains to do it. Like he sort of re-emphasised it a couple of times, really. And I think we as fans don't necessarily like to praise FSG all the time. I mean, we don't like to celebrate billionaires in general, really. But Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards clearly being a key part of this deal as well. It strikes me that it's a 2-year deal, which I think is probably been where the sticking point in the compromise has been from the players' side. I imagine the club will have to compromise some money, and Slot made a bit of a joke about that in the press conference, saying the hard work and effort has basically been money, but to us they're not the finer details that matter. To us, as Mike says, we're looking at one of Liverpool's greatest ever players of all time. Ian Salmon was on Midweek Extra yesterday comparing Mo Salah to Kenny. Like, that's the level of Liverpool legend that we're talking about here, and we get to watch him for 2 more years of what I would argue is still his peak.
Yeah, we can dissect a little bit the numbers. I think we're going to get on to Trent in a minute, but I think the fact that he might be out the door, or it's looking like he's going to be out the door, might have a factor in the fact that these two have been pushed over the line. If you made a joke about money, and how that's been a difference between Salah signing and not. It makes me wonder, is it because what they were asking for, we were in a situation where the centre-back and the right-back could be on 700 grand a week before you've negotiated your main man up front. I think the fact that Trent may be leaving has put a bit more wage budget behind the negotiations, and I think that they've gone, you know what, if he's leaving, it's an absolute, not only a football disaster, but it's a PR disaster. The other two leave as well. So let's throw the extra 50 grand or whatever. I don't know the numbers, I'm making them up off the top of my head, but whatever it was, the gap between what Mo was asking for and what Liverpool were prepared to pay for a player of his age, etc. I think they've gone, you know what, the budget's there now. If he's going to leave, we'd rather tie these two down. Same applies to Virgil van Dijk. I don't think it's a coincidence. The fact that as that Trent news broke through the week, we all sort of felt like these two were nearly done, and the club was sort of leaning towards them being nearly done. The manager was leaning, joking about it. He's just done the same again with Virgil today. I think you know the answer to that question, which to me means they tie Virgil down as well.